Hello, guys. Welcome to Football Fan Den UK. So sorry, I'm a couple of minutes late. I was just rushing to get in from work and get myself sorted. So yeah, apologies about that, guys. Um, Obviously, we are here for the World Cup, big tournament, the biggest tournament in the football world. Um, yeah, biggest tournament in the football world. Obviously, I'm sure you guys have enjoyed the football today. Good win for England. Obviously, I'm sure you guys will want to talk about that through the stream a little bit, so you're welcome to do that. But yeah, we're here to give our support to the Welsh team tonight. Obviously, they're kicking off their World Cup for the first time in a number of years 58, I think it was, or 56, the last time they was involved in a World Cup. Um, so yeah, we absolutely hope Wales can have a good tournament. Obviously, might be a bit of a difference of thinking when England and Wales play, but I would love to see Wales do well in the tournament and get into the knockout stages if possible. It'd be great if both England and Wales could qualify. Um, a little bit of a shame to come up against Wales again in the group stages. I think from an England point of view, because it would have been nice to draw on Wales maybe in a knockout game or something like that. But yeah, it's the way it goes, guys. The way it goes. Lots to discuss with regards to FIFA and the World Cup. Obviously, I'm sure some of you guys seen the news articles that's been flying around over the last few days with the build up to the World Cup. Um, Lots of questions to be asked about FIFA and their conduct, and especially the conduct of the president of FIFA. But yeah, there's plenty to discuss throughout the World Cup with regards to national football, guys. And we will still try to keep our eye on what's going on in the UK back home with club football, if there is any. There may be some parts of club football still being played in the lower league, so we'll keep an eye on that through the World Cup. But yeah, we have 4 weeks ahead now of non-stop World Cup action. So we're going to try and cover it as much as possible, guys. Obviously, in and around my other work commitments, but I'm definitely going to be trying to hit it hard and do as much as possible to cover the World Cup. And hopefully, you guys will drop in and join me on as many streams as you can throughout the World Cup if you've got the time, and that would be cool. So, guys, we're just getting to the kickoff point. I will come to comments in a minute. Keep your comments coming in, guys. We'll come to comments in a minute. Looks a pretty strong lineup for Wales, to be fair. And when you look at this fixture on paper and you consider the two nations, you consider the size of the two nations. Anyway, they shouldn't. It should suggest they shouldn't even be on the same pitch. In respect to the the size of the nation and the fact that a country like America is so massive and the potential talent that is in America, and obviously Wales being a lot smaller country and the potential smaller pool of talent, so to speak, that they have at their resources. But but to be fair to Wales, in the last few years they've put together a really competitive team that's achieved quite a bit of success, getting to tournaments, been to the Euros, stuff like that. So um, I think we can expect a positive effort from Wales through the World Cup. But I think tonight, obviously, is a big game for Wales. See if they can get some points on the board to get their World Cup started with some good momentum and give them a chance to obviously qualify for the knockout stages because you don't realize until you get to the last group game just how important these first games are in the tournament to getting points on the board. Because from my point of view, guys, I've watched a few World Cups, and if you don't get off to a good momentum, good start, then it can really cost you because there is such. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. There's such tight margins in a World Cup tournament that the clubs, obviously nations, only get 3 games in a group to get enough points to get out of the group. And I've seen quite a number of World Cup tournaments where the group stages some groups can be really tight, and come down to that last game of the group, where you can have all four teams potentially being able to qualify. Um, it doesn't happen in every group. Obviously, some groups get decided quite early, but yeah, it's definitely something to bear in mind, guys. So it's important that we hopefully see Wales get off to a good start, and obviously. That'd probably be in both England and Wales' best interest if Wales could get off to a good start, and England pick up enough points, because then maybe when England and Wales come to play each other, then it might not be as important to get the points. So yeah. So guys, please do, if you just joined us, please do hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you're new to the channel. Give us a chance, see what you think of the project. Don't judge us too quickly, basically. Give us a chance, because we are a newish YouTube channel, working to build a real channel that fans can get involved in. So yeah, please do give us some consideration. Let's see who's about in the comments. Dylan, how's it going, mate? PFC DY4 underscore DY4 is Dylan. Good evening, guys. How are you doing? I'm good, thanks, mate. Thanks for joining me. How are you? Hope everything's going well with you, mate. I know you've been busy the last couple of weeks. Hope things are starting to settle down for you now. I know you've got quite a bit going on in your life at the minute, mate, as well as obviously studying for your exams. So yeah, hopefully you've got a little bit of karma going on now, obviously, with the last few weeks for you being crazy, mate. So, yeah, hope all is well with you, Dylan. And thank you very much for coming, getting involved, mate. Always appreciated. Wales did pretty well at the Euros. I imagine we will see a similar performance here in Qatar. Yeah, mate, we could do. Obviously, it's good that it's an evening game. I'm not sure what time of day it is actually in Qatar right now, to be honest. Obviously, here in the UK, it is the evening. But yeah, I'm not sure if anybody knows the time difference in Qatar. Be interesting if you could let us know. Maybe Stevie, if you're in the background, if you get a minute, maybe you could check that out for us if you don't mind, mate. Just like I say, only if you've got time. But yeah, it'd be interesting to know what the time difference is over there, because I'm not sure if this is like, I'm presuming it's either evening or late afternoon or something over in Qatar. I'm not sure. Like I say, I'm not sure the time difference over there. But yeah, like I say, the one concern I've got, guys, with both England and Wales playing in this tournament is the heat. It's the biggest concern I've got, because if England and Wales have to play their games in the daytime, it's going to make things a bit more difficult, because as we know, players that are UK born and play regular in the UK can struggle with tournaments in hot climates, and struggle to find their best football. So let's hope that's not a factor. But I am just being upfront with you guys. That is just a concern that I've got. As the tournament goes on, will the English and Welsh players struggle to deal with the temperatures out there in Qatar? Because we know it is the Winter World Cup, but in Qatar it's still very, very hot weather. It's a desert country, guys, so the heat doesn't really let up in Qatar, no matter what time of year it is. So yeah, that'll be one to look out for, guys. Obviously, something we can debate through the tournament and see if we do notice that that the players do suffer from the heat that they're having to deal with out there, and whether we think that could be having an impact. But up to now, so far so good. Good performance from England today. I've got to say that I'm a bit, even though it was a good performance, plenty of goals, I'm still concerned with England with regards to defensively. Obviously, Iran were physical and a bit stubborn in the early stages of the game, but we are going to come up against tougher opposition, and that is my concern. That will we be able to keep that back door shut when we come against teams with better attacking options? But we'll see. We can't criticise too much. It's just obviously conceding 2 goals against Iran, even though one was a penalty. it's still a little bit concerning because you can see that there's defensive mistakes within the team. But let's hope that England can adapt as they go through the tournament. But like I say, obviously we're here tonight to support Wales and watch Wales, and hopefully Wales get a positive result out of this. It's going to be an interesting game, guys, because we've known but both Wales and the US have been improving over the last couple of years. Both countries been given a better account of themselves on the world stage in international football. So, and both countries have had good results against England in recent years as well. So, we have to give both these nations the respect they deserve. That they're not going to be a pushover. I'm not saying they're going to win the competition, but for any team that comes up against Wales or the US, I would consider they're going to get given a bit of a test because, like I say, these are two nations that are what you might call up and coming, if you like. They're giving a better account of themselves than they have done for a number of years. So we have to acknowledge that, guys. And they're also, like I said, both nations gaining experience. So we have to take that into account because obviously England will be playing both Wales and the US yet still in the group. So just a bit of an observation, guys, that don't think that just because England got a good result today that it's going to be a walk in the park against Wales and the US, because I expect a tougher test for England against both Wales and the US. Dylan is saying, all good here, thanks, mate. Bit tired in recent weeks, but after this week should start to calm down a bit. Yeah, I know what you mean about tired, mate. My sleeping pattern is chaotic at the minute, partly through trying to do my normal job and trying to do Fanden. And I'm just finding that I'm having all sorts of problems at the minute with my sleeping pattern. So it is leaving me feeling quite tired a lot at the minute. But needs must. If I want to make Fanden be a success, then I've just got to ride it out and tough it out. So that is something I'll have to deal with. But yeah, I can feel your point of view. Oh, our goal scoring opportunity there, saved by the keeper. That was Wales keeping the US out. US on attack here, guys. And nearly another goal scoring opportunity. So US are pressuring Wales early on in the game, guys. We're 9 minutes in. Wales being tested at the back. And we've got to be honest, guys, that America look pretty sharp in this game. The Welsh are going to have to get their act together and be a bit more on the front foot if they want to make sure they're competing in this game, because the US definitely look very motivated. But yeah, thanks for that, Dylan. Dylan also saying in Qatar it's currently 10 p.m. Right. So they're in front. Why was that? I was thinking they were behind for some reason. But yeah, thanks for that, Dylan. Appreciate that, mate. Like I said, for some reason I was thinking they were behind time difference. But it's the other way of the world, isn't it? It's the US that's behind time difference, I think. So right, yeah. So thanks for that, Dylan. Yeah, 10 o'clock. So it's 10 o'clock over there. So if it's 10 o'clock, 10 p.m., that means it's nice and cool, evening, dark time. So the Welsh team should be hopefully well up for this one to try and make the most of the fact that they're not playing in that desert heat. So yeah, let's hope that the Welsh have took that into consideration and a little bit, but not to the point where they put too much pressure on themselves. Just a bit of a midfield scrap at the minute, guys. But the US are certainly making it known that they're well up for this game. Some pretty crunching tackles, one or two we've just seen. I'm sure you guys are probably watching it as well. But yeah, just seen one of a bit of a crunching tackle out there on the wing. Not sure if the player is making a little bit of a meal of it, but it's still showing that the US are trying to make an impact quite early on in the game and let Wales know that they are well up for this. Stephen Allen, thanks, Dylan. Yeah, thanks a lot, Dylan, for that. Appreciate it, mate. And nice one, Stevie. Sorry to mither you when you're busy in the background moderating. But yeah, thanks, guys. Dylan is saying the capital city is 3 hours ahead of the UK. All right, well, cool. Well, thanks for that, Dylan. Like I said, I knew there were a couple of hours difference, but I couldn't remember. Just a bit of a memory blank, mate. I couldn't remember if it was in front or behind. For some reason, I had it in my head that it was behind 3 hours, a couple of hours behind. But yeah, thanks for that, clearing that up, Dylan. I was just curious because obviously we want to know roughly what time it is over there, just to have a mind, understand, the kind of weather conditions that the players are enduring. Because, like I say, with it being a desert country, when it's the daytime, um, it's going to be very, very hot. We know that some of these stadiums have got air conditioning in. I'm not sure if they've all got air conditioning in, but we know some of them have. But if the roof's open, then that makes not much of a difference, is it? Because the sun can still beam down on the pitch and get the players quite heated. Some crunching tackles going in from the US team here, guys. We've just seen that another player booked on the US side. Maybe they've come to be a bit physical, thinking that might get them, ruffle feathers in the Welsh team. We'll have to see how that plays out, but it definitely looks like the US have come with the mindset of putting themselves about and playing hardball, so to speak. So we'll have to see if that calms down. But yeah, referee coming over to America, to the American dugout, giving warnings. I'm getting fed up with seeing referees doing that, guys. It's really, really grinding on me. Referees should be doing what referees are paid to do, and that is concentrate on what's going on the pitch, not be distracted by what's going on in the stands or the dugout. It's an absolute disgrace that the football authorities think that they have the right to suppress free speech from managers in every direction. It's an absolute disgrace. Really, really grinding on me, that, guys. So we're having a free kick coming in from the left-hand side for Wales. And it's cleared, but now pinged back in from Welsh player and straight over the bar. Well, that would have been a glorious goal if it had been on target, or at least a glorious effort if it had been on target from about, I think it was about 30, 35 yards out or something. So it would have been a spectacular effort if it had got it on target. Guys, do please hit that like button and consider subscribing if you're new. Like I say, I don't want to keep mentioning it, but unfortunately, it's part of the YouTube thing, and I'm sure you guys have seen it on other channels. It is something that really I would prefer not to do, but until we get the Fanden community grown more, unfortunately, I am going to have to keep mentioning it. Hopefully, at some point, we will get the Fanden community growing more to the point where I just don't have to mention it as much, because obviously, I'm sure you guys will do all that good stuff that support the project. So yeah, thanks for that, guys. Dylan is saying, no worries, mate. Thanks, Dylan. Appreciated, mate. Always buzzing with that when we all share information. So much appreciated. Like I've always said, I don't know everything about football. I've got football knowledge, but we've all got football knowledge. And I'm not arrogant enough to think that I know more than anybody else. So that's one of the beauties I love about building the channel, that we all get to share our football knowledge. And then we all learn more. We all have more football knowledge that we gain, don't we? So yeah, thanks for that, Dylan. Much appreciated, mate. Dylan also saying temperature at the moment in Qatar is 28 degrees. Yeah, well, obviously night, just the night time and the daytime going to make a big difference in respect of how. With obviously it's a desert country, isn't it, guys? It's a desert country, so the heat is going to have an impact on the players to some degree, especially if they're playing in the daytime. If they're enduring that heat all day long, then surely I'm sure the players would prefer to play of an evening when it's cooler. We've certainly seen that in previous World Cups, for example, South Africa, and when they played in South America as well, Brazil. Teams definitely seem to enjoy playing more in the evening when it was that bit cooler. But yeah, I'm sure it's pretty hot, and it's took the players a few days to adjust and adapt to them kind of temperatures out there. So yeah, thanks for that, mate. PFC _DY4 is Dylan saying, I haven't seen the highlights from the England v Iran game yet. Heard that England played well, but were shaky at the back, going off of BBC. Yeah, yeah, mate. I didn't see the game all myself because I was busy working and stuff. So I've only seen some of the highlights myself. Um, but yeah, what I have seen of it, England did play well. To be fair, Iran matched England for about the first 35, 40 minutes of the game. They made it tough. They made it a scrap. They really got their teeth into England in respect of the physicality. They were very physical. But once England got that first goal, then obviously that kind of opened the floodgates a bit. Um, and then and then Iran got a goal back in the second half. I think that was after they'd gone 4-0 down, and then they got a penalty right at the last knock-ins in the last couple of minutes. By that point, there was, I think, I can't remember. I think it was 6-2 by that point. So yeah, like you say, Dylan, the biggest concern with England is the defensive worries. We've got, as an England fan, we've got to be honest, we've got such an abundant attacking talent and young players as well. Young players with no pressure on them to achieve massive success straight away because they're still young. Uh, and nobody can put too much pressure on young players in a World Cup. But obviously, as their careers build, grow, and continue, the pressure will start to build for them to try and win something with the national team. But the point what I'm getting at is we've got a very talented attacking team. Uh, Plenty of young lads that can run a lot because they're young, so they can run. Probably could run from here to Qatar. So yeah, it's very exciting for England with the attacking options. But we, like you said, Dylan, we've got to be concerned with the defensive frailties that England still seem to be showing. And when we come up against tougher opposition, is that going to be an issue? Hopefully not, but we have to be mindful that it could be. So we'll have to see how it goes. But it is, you're right, Dylan, it is concerning with the defensive. I know I don't want to be negative because we got a really positive result today. Great to see the players go and start the World Cup with a string of goals like that. Well, I'm sure most England fans were buzzing because it gets us excited for the rest of the tournament. But like I say, just and like I said, I don't want to stick on the negatives too much, but I am worried about the defense when we come up against better teams with better attacking players. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We might have to resort to doing what Jurgen Klopp does with Liverpool when he first came to Liverpool. If you remember, he didn't have the defensive players that he wanted. So he went with the philosophy of just attack, 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 and outscore the opposition. Now, maybe that's England's best philosophy for this World Cup, but the question is, will we do that with Gareth Southgate in charge? Because he does like to hedge his bets. He'll be a bit braver with weaker opposition, but when he comes up against tougher opposition, he likes to safeguard the defence by putting in defensive midfield players, which means that you lose a bit going forward, doesn't it? It means if you're playing a more of a defensive midfield, then you lose some of that attacking momentum by doing that. So we'll have to see how it goes. But obviously, I'd like to say, I'm not going to, as much as I've got my issues with Southgate being a manager, I'm not going to gripe about it right now because we're in a tournament and now is the time to get behind the team and the manager, no matter what our personal thinking is. Once the tournament's here, we have to get behind them because it's just a short window to make an impact. So let's hope that that happens. Um, oh, sorry, Dylan, I missed that one. Yes, mate, I see what you mean. I am trying to make a balance of family time, studying time, and time to focus on my Instagram account. Yeah, that mate, that's understandable. Like I say, I did mention to you a while back that maybe you should consider about just doing a few less posts on your thingy on your Instagram just to give you time to get yourself give yourself the time to study and get your other things. Because one thing you'll learn on Instagram, mate, I'm not criticizing, it's just an observation. But one thing you'll notice on Instagram that I've definitely known in the time I've done it, but obviously my focus on Instagram is slightly different because I'm more focused on the YouTube channel. So it's not obviously I don't build a club account like a lot of people. But one thing I've noticed anyway, that if you're building a club account and you want good likes, the best thing to focus on is quality, not quantity, quality. If you focus on quality, you will get better likes because fans um, do like in-depth posts. Now, some of the stuff you've been posting, mate, has been fantastic, but some of it is just general news that fans can find easily, and maybe that's just taking up time that you don't need to be wasting posting stuff that's easy for fans to find. If you know what I mean, it's just maybe something to think about where you could save yourself a bit of time. But obviously, it's up to you. It's your account. You know. I'll support you with your account as much as possible with what you're doing, and it's your choice what you're doing. But I'm just saying, it's like me. I avoid on Instagram posting certain things because I know everybody else has posted it. So what's the point? Because I know I'm not. It's not gonna, it's not gonna get anything, any world winning amount of likes when I'm posting something that I don't know 50, 60, 70% of football accounts on Instagram have already posted. So yeah, but like I said, mate, I'm surprised you're not doing better with the follower numbers and likes on your account because most club accounts do seem to get a lot of likes just because the club account. So you normally get a lot of high like count from fans of your club. Um, Obviously, with my Instagram account, I don't have that luxury because I'm not building a club up account. I'm building a football account about all football, so it don't work the same for me. But yeah, I am quite surprised that sometimes that you don't get better likes on some of your posts. To be fair, mate. But yeah, like I say, just an observation. Obviously, like I said, a lot of the stuff you do post on your account is great. I just think that some of the posts that you do you might be just wasting your time a bit if it's something that everybody's posting. But yeah, that like I say, if that's for you to think about, mate, it's your account, as I say. Just my point of view. So guys, just to bring you an update, still 0-0, 25 minutes gone. It's a bit of a midfield scrap at the minute. The US did look slightly stronger in the first 10 minutes going forward, but now Wales have managed to get a foothold in the game, and now it is turned into more of a midfield battle. Not too much action at either end of the pitch and in respect of the goal mouth action. But yeah, just still very much, like I said, both teams trying to establish a foothold in the game. So it's a bit of a midfield scrap at the minute. Guys, if you're just joining us, please do hit that like button. It'd be great if we could hit 15 likes on today's stream. And if you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. Give us a chance. See if you like what the Fandom project is about. Back to the comments. Dylan is saying, just realised I made a mistake with the temperature. It's 18, not 26, 28. Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. Like I said, I thought it'd be a bit cooler over there anyway for Wales playing tonight because it is the evening time, as you say. So if it's gone past 10 o'clock in the evening in Qatar, then the sun should have gone down and the temperatures should start to cool down considerably to make it easier for the players to obviously manage with the heat. I'm sure it's still very humid over there, but obviously if that sun has gone away and it's night time, it should be a bit more tolerable for the players to deal with. So we just got a throw in at the minute for the US guys. Like I say, not much to not much to tell you about. I will keep you informed if anything happens, guys. But at the minute, like I say, not much to turn. It's just a bit of a midfield scraps going out for throw-ins occasionally. Both teams trying to get a foothold in the game, and it's like I said, because both teams are trying to get a foothold in the team in the game. Sorry, it's turned into a bit of a midfield scrap with not much happening at the minute going either end. It's like I said, the ball keeps going out for throw-ins, and we're having the referee blowing for fouls, things like that. So, like I say, obviously, I'm sure we're going to see plenty of end-to-end games, guys, but we're also going to see games like this where it's cagey. And normally, the first couple of games of the tournament, anyway, are a bit cagey because I would expect that in this tournament because you've got to remember, guys, a lot of these nations haven't even had the time that they normally would have to do some friendly games to prepare. Literally, club football has stopped, and the players have gone on international duty and had to make themselves available straight away for the games with no warm up games, none whatsoever. And that's another big criticism I've got of FIFA. It is important that national teams to get the best out of them that they do get a little bit of preparation time. And with FIFA and their money motivated World Cup, they haven't given the national teams that time that they need to prepare for the World Cup. So yeah, let's hope that that doesn't impact teams' fatigue and obviously injury concerns, things like that. Let's hope not. But yeah, thanks for that, Dylan. Dylan also saying thanks for the advice, mate. No worries, mate. Just my point of view. Like I say, you might think different, mate. Obviously, I'm just thinking that I know you've got a lot going on at the minute, so it might be just worth you considering rethinking how you're doing things with your Instagram if you're struggling for time. But like I say, at the end of the day, mate, it's your account, so you do what you enjoy doing. Dylan saying thanks for the advice. Oh, I just read that, didn't I? All right. Did I miss one? Yeah, I did. What are your predictions for the World Cup this year, mate? Well, obviously, it'd be fantastic if England can win it. If England can't win it, it'd be great to see Wales win it. But obviously, Wales is a bit more of a long shot. Um, I think we're going to see the usual teams get into the knockout stage. The likes of France, Germany, Brazil, Argentina probably get through to the knockout stages. My team to consider to win it. Obviously, I'd love to see England win it, but that's my head and my heart saying that. But obviously, my head is saying that they're probably the team that is probably going to come from nowhere, as always. When there's not as much, when there's pressure on this nation, they don't always win. But when the pressure is off, and when particularly people are not talking about them, that's when they tend to perform. And I've heard a lot of people shouting for Argentina winning it, Portugal winning it, Brazil winning it. Not many people have mentioned Germany. And it's normally when the Germans are not considered to win it, that's normally when they win it. I hope I'm wrong because I don't want to see the Germans win another World Cup, really, before England win another one. But I'm just saying that they always seem to come, and give a good account of themselves when nobody expects them to be in the mix to win it. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question, Dylan. But like I say, let's fingers crossed that it's Wales and England that are getting to the later stages of the competition. But we'll have to see how it goes, mate. Football Sheds, what's the score? It's still 0-0, mate. 30 minutes gone. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you coming, getting involved. But yeah, the score 0-0, and like I say, 30 minutes gone, so we've got 15 minutes or so left till half time. Like I said, not much happening at the minute. If anything, it's the US that are getting closer to creating something in Wales's box. We've not seen much momentum going up the other end, but like I say, it's still very much a midfield scrap. But it seems to be that if there is a team, if we're going to say there's a team edging the midfield scrap, I would say at the minute it's just looking like it's the US just edging it because they're having more possession in the Welsh half than the Welsh are having in the US half. So if you're not watching it, hopefully that gives you a rough idea of how the early stages of the game are going. Thanks for that, Football Sheds. Dylan is saying PFC underscore DY4. Dylan is saying, yes, mate, I seem to have a period where I have no new followers at all, but then I get 3 or 4 days where I get loads. Yeah, no, that's probably just where you're probably just where you're getting picked up in the algorithm, mate, on Instagram. What you have to remember is this is why I'm saying that posting like you're posting might not be doing you no favors, because you have to be mindful that Instagram also has an algorithm, just like YouTube. Um, and every now and again, it'll pick up your account and chuck you out there and give you more publicity. And every now and again, it'll kick you out of the algorithm and give you less publicity. So that's probably why you're noticing that, mate. I've noticed it on my account. You can have no followers for a week or two sometimes, or really poor followers, and then all of a sudden you'll get a good amount of half decent followers for a few days. And like I said, my only explanation for that is that suddenly the algorithm has given you a little bit of consideration and your account. So, like I say, if you want to know more about the algorithm, mate, you can always go and research it. But yeah, like I say, that's what you've got to be mindful of when you're on Instagram. Well, on any of the social media sites, to be fair, mate, they've all got that kind of setup where it's an algorithm, and you're trying to put stuff on, and what you want to do is put stuff on that's going to get you in the algorithm, and that's why I'm saying if you're putting stuff on that everybody else is posting, you're less likely to get put in the algorithm, because accounts with bigger followings will get there first. Uh, so what you have to do is try and think of stuff that other people don't post, and post stuff that that's less posted less, if you get my meaning, and that might give you a better chance in the algorithm. Like I say, I'm no expert, mate. I'm just giving you some pointers off the things that I've picked up since I've been on Instagram. Um, Dylan saying football sheds US what nil, Wales what nil. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Sorry if I missed your answer to answer your question, mate. Uh, Football sheds, like I said, the chat a little bit quiet at the minute, so obviously I'm not rushing through the comments too quickly, because obviously I want to keep you guys involved as much as possible through the stream. And if I just race through the comments when it's quieter, then obviously it's harder for me to keep you guys involved in the conversation and relate to comments that you guys make as we're watching the game. So yeah, football sheds. My apologies, mate, if I didn't reply to your message quick enough. Um, Football sheds. Can Wales beat England? Absolutely, mate. Yeah, they could. They could. Wales have beat England before, so there's no reason why they can't. Um, yeah, there's no reason why they can't, mate. Wales have beaten England before, and they're more than capable of it. And it should tell you that anyway, mate. The fact that they've qualified, that they're a national team that are improving and getting better. The fact that they could qualify for the World Cup, they qualified for the Euros last time round. This is the first time they qualified for a World Cup for quite some years. 58, I think it was the last time they qualified. But they are a national team that have been gradually improving. And getting better. And yes, mate, they are more than capable of causing upset. If England play to their best, then England should win technically. But as we know in football, it doesn't always work like that. You can play at your best, but if the team are prepared to match your effort and desire, then it can that can be enough to stop you winning. We've got a goal, guys, and it's coming from the team that we expected it from, the US. I've gone 1-0 up with a goal in open play. Actually looked like a really nice goal. Opened, to be fair, it looked like they opened Wales up like a tin of beans right there. Sorry, guys, just adjusting myself in the chair. Yeah, cut Wales right open there with beautiful pass right through the middle of the defence. Um, but yeah, credit to that. Credit to. I'm just trying to work out the player that scored the goal, but yeah, a great goal, to be honest, for the US there. Let's hope that not doesn't mean capitulation for Wales. Let's hope Wales can still keep themselves in the game and get themselves a goal back and get back into it. World Cups are not for the faint-hearted. You've got to be well up for it and match every team you come up against because it's such a short competition that you can be out of the competition in a blink of an eye if you don't maximise your efforts. Another effort up the other end now for Wales, but it's crossed in towards the box and it's gone straight out on the far side. Little bit disappointing with that, guys. Sorry for that. A little bit disappointing with that, but to be fair, we have to give credit to Wales for at least trying to get up the other end. We'll see if they can get themselves back into it. Let's hope so, guys. Dylan is saying, I think so. Yeah, all right. Yeah, absolutely. There's no think so about it. Yeah, absolutely. Wales could definitely potentially beat England. They're more than capable of. They've done it before. They're capable of. I would say if England play at the best, it should be no competition because England have got amazing attacking players going forward. But it is a derby type game. And anything can happen in a derby. Wales could be just more motivated to get something out of that game because it's England. So they could be stubborn in defence and make life really difficult for England. And you can have all the best attacking players in the world, but if you don't, if the team's prepared to sit in and make things tight, then it might not count. Dylan is saying, apologies, guys, got to quickly hop off so I can grab a bite to eat, but I'll be back soon. Apologies. No need to apologise, mate. Appreciate you dropping in. And yeah, absolutely. Go and enjoy your food. I'm actually looking forward to having something nice to eat once I've finished the stream. So yeah, thanks for that, Dylan. Hopefully you enjoy your evening meal, mate. Just got a US player I've just noticed. I'm not sure who it is because I'm not very well up on the names of these players in the US team. But I just noticed a US player holding his groin, so that could be a potential, maybe a stretched hamstring, something like that. Let's hope it's nothing serious. We don't really like to, as much as we want to see Wales and England do well, we don't really want to see players having serious injury. Oh, there's a bit of a crunching tackle there. With Gareth Bale involved, this referee is definitely not shy dishing out the cards. Yeah, he's got a yellow card for feet off the ground, I think, but I don't know why that's a yellow card because he's done nothing to actually put a foot in on the player. That's a harsh one. That's a harsh one because Gareth Bale, yes, his studs were up, but they were up facing away from the player that he was in the tackle with. And he's kind of looped round the ball to hook it away, if you like, from the US player getting it. So to me, that's a bit of a harsh yellow card to be given in that scenario. All I could think is maybe the referee saw the studs up and thought that was deserving of a yellow card. But yeah, guys, want to hear from you. Drop your comments in the chat. Let me know your thoughts on any of today's games and also your thoughts on the game that we're streaming. Please do consider hitting that like button. It helps us get the channel growing. And like I say, if you could and you're new, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. See if you like what we're about. Give us a chance. Fanden is not your average YouTube channel. We've got bigger ambitions once we grow the Fanden community. Like I say, but we can only get stuck into that once we actually get the channel growing and get more of a fan community building. So do consider subscribing. Give us a chance. See if you like what the Fanden project is about. The only way you can find out that is by subscribing and getting involved, guys. Wales kind of on the back foot a bit here, guys. The US are looking very strong, very confident in their play. They're knocking it about. And at the minute, I've got to be honest, the Welsh team looking like they're lacking a bit in ideas. So half time might be coming just at the right time for the Welsh team. We'll have to see how that one pans out. But yeah, looking like the US definitely the stronger team at the minute and the more confident in respect of their attacking play. So we'll keep you updated, guys. So yeah. So if you're just joining us, guys, it's USA 1, Wales 0, 42 minutes in. We're just approaching the halftime mark. So yeah, only a couple of minutes left of this second half. Sorry, of this first half. But yeah. The Wales passing it about at the back at the moment, guys. Trying to get themselves on the ball. I think just trying to get a bit of confidence in their play because they've struggled to keep possession so far. So maybe that just passing it about at the back is trying to get them a bit of confidence through the players to um, get some possession on the ball. But a great opportunity here coming down the left, the right hand side. That looked good potential. That then, but unfortunately, a US player was very much aware of what Wales were thinking and closed the space well. It's gone out for a corner to Wales. So we'll just see what happens with this. Guys, like I say, please do consider subscribing if you're new and hit that like button. Like I say, a lot of YouTube channels that are way ahead of us because they've had a lot more time and a lot more coverage on YouTube. So we are quite a new channel, just trying to get ourselves going. Got bigger ambitions. Don't think we're just your normal regular YouTube channel because we're not. We've got bigger ambitions as the project grows. Not sure this referee, sorry to just change the subject, guys. Not sure this referee has got the best intentions. He seems to be liking giving out lectures. I've seen him giving lectures to the players. I'll go over to the dugout giving lectures. Just a bit of concern whether this referee is a bit in another one of them referees that's maybe a bit in love with his ego. It's not a referee I'm familiar with. I've got to be honest. Normally with FIFA referees, you do get familiar with them because they obviously manage games all over the world. But I've got to be honest, guys. I'm not familiar with this referee that we've got tonight. I can't say I've ever seen him referee a game in my experience. Stevie Allen, like the flags in the background. Thanks, mate. Yeah, appreciate it. Just obviously trying to show our support to the UK nations, national teams. Obviously, disappointing to not have Scotland involved. But if there's any Scotland fans listening, you are welcome. Always welcome on this channel. Fanden is about all UK fans. Would never ever not try and involve you, but I'm sure that a lot of Scottish fans are not really interested in this competition, only in regards to seeing potentially England lose. I think that's what most Scottish fans will be interested in after this World Cup. But yeah, thanks for that, Stevie, mate. It'd be great if you could, if it's not too much trouble, mate, you could just grab us a drink. I never managed to get a drink before I started. Oh, did I? I can't remember. It was such a rush getting ready tonight for this live stream. I can't remember. Wales really struggling to get any kind of serious possession here, guys. It's a bit concerning. But they're gonna find it difficult because the last time they was in a World Cup was 1958, I think. And like I say, as much as the Welsh, have improved and have got better, these tournaments are so unforgiving. There's not much room for error. You gotta. Is he going to give out another yellow card? He's giving out another yellow card. So we've got this referee dishing out cards left, right, and centre. He's a bit of an authoritarian. Does he realise he's meant to referee the game? Now, fair enough. That looks like a deserved yellow card. To be fair, because the Welsh player grabbing hold of the shirt of the American that he was in a duel with, so to speak. So probably that one was deserved. But yeah, I've noticed very much how this referee is very keen to start dishing out the yellow cards. So it could be questioned whether we might actually see this game finish with all 11 players on both teams. With how eager this referee seems to be to hand out yellow cards. So we just 4 minutes added on time, guys. 1-0 to America. 4 minutes added on time. We're just coming to the halftime break now. Probably good that it's halftime, guys, because I think the Welsh team definitely need it. They're not. They're struggling to deal with the threat coming from America, and America just seem to be just have the edge on Wales at the minute. So let's hope the manager Rob Page can get some tactics and some inspiration into the Welsh players to come out in the second half and give themselves a better account of themselves. Thank you. So it's half time, guys, and it's 1-0 to the US. Like I said, I think the Welsh definitely need this halftime break because they looked a bit bereft of ideas as that first half wore on. I think they were struggling quite a bit to deal with the threat coming from the US. The US looked the stronger team. They looked the most threatening. Wales, they did look okay as a team, but they just look like they've not got much going forward. They've not got much. They've not got much inspiration to attack in respect of what they're going to do when they get forward. And they've not been forward that much. I'd be interested to see the match stats on that, guys, because I would guess that Wales might not. I think maybe had one shot on target in that first half, maybe one. It weren't a lot. So yeah. We'll have to. It'd be interesting to see the stats after the game. But yeah, for me, Wales definitely need half time. They need to get their act together and come out with a bit more motivation because the US, in fairness, looked definitely the stronger team in that first half. Guys, if you're just joining us, please do hit that like button and consider subscribing if you're new. Be very much appreciated. We've got Sam Thornton. How's it going, Sam? Appreciate you dropping in, mate. Sam is saying US playing well. I think they've got some great players. Yeah, absolutely, mate. They look a dangerous team, and as I said earlier in the stream, both of these nations, the US and Wales, in fairness to them, they're both up and coming teams. They're both improving. They've, then you go back 20 years, and these weren't nations that was you would consider would have been involved in a World Cup. Not because they can't be involved in a World Cup, but just because they didn't have the talent within the dressing room to compete in a World Cup. But like I say, in recent years, we've seen that both of these teams, these nations, have improved their football pool of talent, shall we say, and it's meant that they've become more of a formidable sides to see in international football. And I think, as Sam is saying, in that first half, the US definitely look the stronger team. Wales really struggling with them, and let's hope the manager can inspire them in the second half to get themselves into the game more. Because, like I said, there was very minimal effort on goal mouth chances, goal mouth action from a Wales point of view. Because to be fair, we have to give the credit to the US. The US did what they needed to do. They kept the Welsh at bay, kept it tight, but there was the US showing a lot more desire going forward, attacking wise. So maybe that's something that will, flip the other way in the second half. Because obviously, as we know, in these kind of games, when it's tight with the scoreline, even though the US, look the stronger team in the first half, they might be a bit more mindful of protecting what they've got and not want to push forward too much in the second half. And we've seen that with many teams, guys, where it's what's the wording I'm thinking of? Let's protect what we've got, like have what we hold, so to speak, if you get my meaning. But yes, thanks for that, Sam. You're spot on there, mate. Appreciate you coming, dropping in as well, mate. Thank you very much. Great to see you. I don't think I've seen you in the chat for a while, to be honest, mate. But yeah, thank you very much. Always great to see you guys drop in, especially if I've not seen you on the channel for a while. So thanks for that, Sam Thornton. Appreciated, mate. Guys, if you're just joining us, please hit that like button. Drop your comments in the chat. Want to hear from you. Hear your thoughts on this game or any other games that you've seen today, or the opening game yesterday, or the games coming up. I do these live streams for you guys to come and share your thoughts. That's why I sit here for 2 hours like a plonker doing these match watch-alongs to help you guys come and have somewhere to voice your opinions about football and have your opinions heard. So come and get involved, guys. Drop your comments in the chat. Want to hear from you. Like I say, interesting first half. It looked like the US dominating that first half. Wales work to do in the second. I think the break came just at the right time for the Wales team. So we'll have to see if the manager can jolly them up and get them motivated to put in a bit more effort and a bit more commitment in the second half. Because, like I said, Wales just looked a bit bereft of ideas when they did get on the few occasions that they did get forward. But yeah, like I say, the US at the minute looking the stronger team. Yeah, it's a beautiful goal that from the US. Yeah. So they basically, for the US goal, they've drawn out the defender Rondon. They've drawn him out from the back. And basically, that has given that gap, that space in the back line of the Welsh defence for basically the US to cut them wide open, and the US slotting it home. with some great play. To be fair, it was obviously we want Wales to win this game or any game, obviously with the exception of the England game. I might think differently, but we're here to support Wales. We want to see them doing well, but you have to give credit to the opposition sometimes, guys. And the US, they look a talented team. They're looking more and more. More and more progressed, shall we say, as we see them involved in these competitions. So it's going to be interesting to see in years to come if with the what with evolution. That's probably the right word. With the evolution of soccer in the US, it's going to be interesting to see whether the US national team evolves to be more of a of a threat in the world of football national teams. So yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. But it's going to be interesting to see because I think that kind of like in the world of soccer now that the US nation are getting more interested in soccer because obviously over there they call it soccer, don't they? Now they're becoming a lot more interested in it. I think we have the potential that the US potentially in years to come could be a sleeping giant because let's be honest, it's a huge country and it's got a massive population. So there must be a lot of talented youngsters in the US that potentially have got football talent. Um, so in years to come, if they keep progressing the game in America the way they are and the way they've been showing more interest in international in football, soccer generally, then I think that in years to come we could see a lot stronger US team that potentially might actually start competing for trophies. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, like I say, with it being such a big country, I would say that there is the potential for America to keep improving and, like I say, eventually compete for a World Cup or something like that. Um, Sam Thornton, US could shock England. They've got some great players, as mentioned, and they will be really up for it against us. For the USA, we are one of their biggest rivals, so they will really want to beat us. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, spot on. To be honest, you are right. You are right. The US probably see England as a big rival. But to be honest, mate, I think in football, 90% of the world's countries want to beat England. It doesn't matter where they are. Even little countries like Lithuania and countries like that want to beat us. I mean, look at the Australians a couple of years ago, if you remember. The Australians came to England to play a friendly against England, and they won it. And you'd think that you would have thought the way they celebrated, you would have thought they won the World Cup. So unfortunately, mate, when it comes to England, I think most nations want to beat England. They love it. They love the publicity that comes with it. There's a lot of other national teams where their fans like to criticise the English fans' arrogance and the fact that we sing songs like "It's Coming Home" and stuff like that. A lot of other nations criticise us for our arrogance, if you like, in football. But what they don't take into consideration is when that you see every other nation in world football wants to beat your team, wants to play against England, just for the chance that they could get a result against them. Then why are other fans of other nations so surprised that England fans, you know, go around the world singing them kind of mad songs? So yeah, it's an interesting one, like you say, mate. Guys, if you're just joining us, please do hit that like button. We're a new YouTube channel, so your support is very much appreciated. And we are not a normal YouTube channel, guys. We are a project, and we are working to create a unique channel that you guys can be involved in. And you're only going to find out more about that if you get involved and subscribe and get involved on the channel and on social media. So give us a chance, guys. Give us a chance. See if you like what the project, the Fandom project is about. But yeah, we're just, like I said, guys, also drop your comments as well. We're just debating the game, and a big part of the live streams is always hearing what you guys have got to say. So yeah, drop your comments in. I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts on any of the games that have already kicked off and games that are coming. We will be doing more live streams, guys. I'm hoping to do one tomorrow, but it depends what time I get home from work, whether I can do it. I'm hoping to do the Poland Mexico game tomorrow. Fingers crossed if I can get home early enough. And we're also going to do some other games. We'll be doing the England game, the next England game. We'll be live streaming that, and I think might be even doing one of the Brazil game, their opening game as well. So keep your eyes open on the channel, guys, for more for more live streams scheduled throughout the World Cup. We're going to be doing quite a few streams, and like I say, a lot of the reason we do these live streams is to create the fandom community and get you guys involved. Fandom is a real fan channel, and we want to help you guys have your opinions heard in the football world. So drop your comments in, get involved, hit that like button, subscribe, because like I say, we're trying to build a channel that is a genuine, real fan channel, and your support would be always appreciated. So we're just coming up towards the second half, guys. The team should be coming out in a few minutes. Obviously, if you guys want to chuck any score predictions in, what you think the final score will be, it'd be great to hear from you. And obviously, any thoughts you guys have on the other games that have been played and the upcoming games as well, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Love to hear from you. Quite interesting to see some of the Welsh fans and the stuff that they're wearing to support the team. We've got a mixture of Welsh fans wearing Welsh colours, but also wearing the Qatarian people's banners, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what you call it, but you know what I mean. They have the like turban type hat things or whatever. I'm not sure what they're called. I don't want to be disrespectful to their culture or anything, but it's quite unique to the Middle East. And it's I've just seen a bunch of Welsh fans that were wearing a Welsh turban. So that was quite interesting. It's great to see fans embracing the cultures of the other cultures into their support of their national team, especially in indulging in the hosts' cultural symbols. So, guys, second half has just kicked off. We're into the second half now. Let's hope we see an improved performance from Wales. They've got it. They've got to put in a better performance than that, guys. Really disappointing from a Wales point of view in that first half. They just looked like they were lacking in ideas. To be fair, guys. So, second half's just kicked off, and we've got an early corner, guys. We've got an early corner. We have for the US. Sorry, yeah, early, I had to think about that then. Yeah, early corner for the US. Chipped in, and it's just gone straight out. But the US have managed to keep possession. See, I don't understand. I don't understand why teams have become so obsessed with this passing it back. There's a lot of teams playing like that now, where they think it's necessary to pass it back, and it doesn't. It doesn't always work. It doesn't always work, and I think that we need managers that are a bit more free thinking. Wales just trying to get themselves a bit more on the front foot. So well, Wales just at the minute appear to be trying to get themselves some possession. Like I say, it'd be interesting. I'm just trying to watch what's going on here, guys, because it'd be interesting to see how this plays out. Because always the first few minutes of the game and the second half. The question I've got for this is are the US going to sit off a little bit more and try and protect that goal that that 1-0 lead that they have, or are they going to keep going attacking? And show that adventure to go forward. Be interesting to see how that pans out as the second half progresses. But yeah, like I say, we see it so much, guys. So that's why I'm curious just to see how the US play with that, because it might give us an indication of how they will approach the England game. But yeah, we've seen it, like I said, we've seen it so many times where teams can get 1-0 up and then they just sit off. They just sit off and try and, it's the mentality of have what we hold. But like I said, that can sometimes backfire on you, can't it, guys? Um, so we'll see. So we have another corner for, oh, excuse me, we have another corner for Wales. Oh, the keeper spilled it. Oh, the referee's blown the whistle. That looked like an opportunity there for Wales when the ball came in from the corner. The keeper tried to get hold of it, and he spilled it. No, he didn't actually get hold of it. He's tried to get hold of it, but he's not got hold of it, and then it's kind of bounced off his hands and straight into a whole melee of players. Oh, there's a lot of grabbing going on in this game, guys. I've noticed that quite a few players grabbing each other. Did it? We know it's a contact sport, but you don't be grabbing each other like that. I don't I don't understand why players would be committing to that kind of stuff when they know it's just going to result in a booking. You get caught doing that, grabbing another player when they're on the ball. You're asking for a booking. It's madness. Long ball upfield for Wales, guys. Oh, and headed back to the keeper from a US player. Just that was good. Some good thinking there, but obviously not enough men forward for Wales to cause the US any much problems. I'm not liking how I'm seeing the Wales. The Welsh team is definitely sitting back a bit more, not committing men forward as much as the US. Um, and that's the noticeable difference between the two teams. To be honest, guys, that the US seem to be more willing um, to get men forward, whereas the Welsh are not doing that. So, um, sorry, guys. Like I said, that's the noticeable difference. Definitely the noticeable difference. It's noticeable that quite a few empty seats in this stadium, guys. Bear in mind, I, I, I mean, we could talk loads about FIFA and picking this World Cup venue. It's an absolute disgrace that a desert country is holding a World Cup and holding the whole football world to ransom. With regards of the whole football world having to change the football calendar to accommodate this competition being played in a desert country. Um, don't even get me started, guys, on criticism of FIFA because I've got a lot to say about FIFA. They're an absolute disgrace, an embarrassment to the game, and it's just not it's simply the people that run it. That's what it boils down to. The people that run FIFA are not fit for purpose. And for me, this World Cup being held in a desert country and the remarks we heard from the president of FIFA the other day are proof that these people running FIFA are not fit for purpose. But yeah, we have to make the best of it, guys. But it is noticeable that there's empty seats around the stadium. It's very, very, very noticeable. Wales having a bit more possession on the ball, guys, but it's not convincing. It's not convincing up to now. Stevie Allen, not watching the game, mate. How's Bale playing? Um, he's not been in the game enough. He's been involved in the passing, but he's not. He's not making the impact you would normally expect to see him making. But to be honest, I think Gareth Bale's best days are behind him. To be honest, hopefully he makes some kind of impact for Wales in this tournament because he is obviously one of their better players. But for me, um, after what we've seen went on with him at Real Madrid and all the unnecessary stuff that went on there that he got himself involved in, I think it's fair to say that Gareth Bale's best playing days are probably behind him. But like I said, let's hope he's got one or two good performances still left in him um, to help the Welsh team. In answer to your question, Steve, is obviously a big part of the team in respect of he's a midfield player. So most of the passing is going through him when they do try and get forward. Um, but like I say, he's not. It's not like he's doing anything special to be, to be the difference in the game. So we'll have to keep an eye on how he progresses in that. But yeah, the referee is just the players are arguing with the referee that it was a corner, but the referee's giving it as a throw in. Wales in the box trying to get something going, but not having to go back to go forward. If you get my meaning. Well, in fairness, guys, we are seeing reaction. I said it at half time. We always see a reaction from Wales in the second half, and yeah, we are seeing some kind of reaction. Um, they're looking to press and create something in the US half, in the US box on goal. But at the minute, not much being made of the possession that they're having. They're getting more possession, guys. They're just not doing a lot with it. So we'll have to hope that they can get a bit more going with the possession that they have. But yeah, that, like I said, they're getting forward more. They're getting into the box a little bit more, but they're not really creating anything that's what you could say that what you could consider as a major threat to the US on goal. But here come Wales again, but they've lost it again. This is what I mean. Every time they get anywhere near the box, inside the box, they're losing it really easy. Good tackle from Wales to get it back. They've got it back. And then now a long ball into the box from the wing. And it's gone out to the other side. Another cross in on the edge of the box now for Wales. Trying to create some space to get a shot off, but not finding that space. There's another cross in, and it's gone straight out on the far side. I think it's gone out for a corner. I think. Yeah, I think it's a corner. No, sorry guys, it's not a corner. It's a free kick. So yeah, like I said, guys, Wales definitely looking at a lot more threatening going forward. They're just not. They're not doing they're not really scaring the US when they actually do go forward. If you get my meaning, they're not. Well, let's put it this way: since the second half started, I think they've had about 4 or 5 chances on goal, and I think maybe only one of them attempts has been on target. The rest have all gone wide, gone out, or the Americans have closed the spaces and cleared the lines. We need to see Gareth Bale shooting from that kind of range. Wales in possession again, guys. The US kind of camped in their own half a little bit at the minute. Stephen Allen, do you think this is a one-off, or will we see more winter tournaments? I hope we don't see more winter tournaments, mate. I really don't, because the proof is that winter tournaments don't work is this tournament. You've had to completely turn the football calendar on its head to fit it in, and you've had no preparation games for the international teams going into the tournament. There's only there's a handful of the teams that have had preparation games, but that's because their national football clubs are not playing, or because it's not interfered with our league. But for Europe, it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. I'm sure that FIFA, in their infinite wisdom, will try and come up with another Winter World Cup if there's fat profit in it for them. Because as we've noticed in the years gone by, it's pretty obvious that FIFA are motivated by money, not football. So if there's profit in it, then I'm sure FIFA will consider it. But as a fan, no, I don't want to see another Winter World Cup, mate. Not at all. Because it's just too much disruption to the club calendar, and plus, there's no preparation time. There's no preparation time when you have a Winter World Cup. As we've seen, when you normally have a World Cup tournament in the summer, that's why they have it in the summer, because there's no interference from club football, and international teams get a couple of weeks before the tournament starts to prepare, to have friendlies, to get the team playing as a unit. You can't do that when you're playing it in the winter tournament, because where's the preparation time? There isn't any. They've had to literally squeeze this into the tournament, into the season, to fit it in. So yeah, hope that answers your question, Stevie. They will probably come up with the idea at some point again, because we know that FIFA are only interested in profit, not football. And I will keep saying that because that's the truth. until a FIFA representative comes on this channel and debates it with me to give me evidence that they don't think like that, then I will keep saying it, because all the research that I've done is that simple. FIFA are not fit for purpose. They are not fit for purpose. They're an embarrassment to the game. They're an embarrassment to us as football fans. They're an embarrassment to the culture of football. The people running FIFA are not football people. They're not true football people. They like to talk the talk, but the reality is they're not. They're not true football people. If you watch some of the stuff and read some of the stuff I've read before building up to this tournament, guys, you'll be shocked at the conduct and the behaviour of FIFA in recent years. It's an absolute disgrace. And as far as I'm concerned, FIFA needs a massive overhaul. A massive overhaul. So, guys, it's still 1-0 to America. We've got another free kick opportunity for Wales. It keeps throwing me off. I've noticed in this game, the camera angle keeps switching sides to the pitch. Oh, it's a great opportunity for Wales. Saved by the keeper. Unlucky for Wales. Saved by the keeper. Guys, drop your comments in there. We'll come to the chat in a moment. And please do hit that like button and consider subscribing if you're new. Great opportunity that for Wales. The keeper was had his wits about him, though, and knocked it over. And now we have a corner. So, yeah, guys, please do hit the like button and drop your comments in the chat. We'll come back to the comments in a minute. Just want to see what happens with this corner. 64 minutes gone. Corner's coming in. Oh, and it's... Oh, what an opportunity. And it's headed just over the bar. Just over the bar. I'm just watching the replay now. Oh, yeah. What an opportunity. He just couldn't get that. He just couldn't get his head over it enough to get it down. But, yeah, that's a fantastic opportunity for Wales. Just a shame he couldn't get jump maybe a little bit higher, and then he might have been able to get enough head on it to nudge it down rather than it going over the bar. Substitution for the US. McKenzie going off. I think that's with an injury. I think I did see him holding his groin earlier, and Aronson coming on. But yeah, I think that's the player that I said earlier for the US team that was holding his groin. So I hope that's nothing too serious. Obviously, potentially a hamstring injury, something like that. But let's hope not. We don't want to see any players getting hamstring injuries this early in the tournament, because we know if they get any kind of injuries like that, their tournament's over. So we don't want to see that. But yeah. Like I say, hopefully it's nothing too serious for the player that's gone off for America. Guys, if you're just joining us, please do hit that like button. I apologise for keep having to say it, but we are a pretty new YouTube channel, so until we get the Fanden community growing more, it's something I will have to mention quite regular in streams. So my apologies in advance for that. But yeah, this game has opened up all of a sudden. It's gone from being a pretty one-sided game in the first half, and then a bit more in a midfield battle. And now it's opened up. I suppose this is exactly what you get with opening games in the World Cup, guys. Cagey in the first half, maybe one-sided, and then as they get into the second half, teams tend to attack each other a lot more and have a lot more ambition, or show more ambition. See what you guys are saying. Aaron, how's it going, mate? Thanks for dropping in, Aaron. All right, guys, mate, how are you doing? Apologies for being late. No need to apologise, mate. Appreciate you dropping in. Thank you very much. And yeah, let us know what you're thinking of the World Cup so far, mate. Only a day or so into it, but obviously already a lot happened. Pretty poor performance last night from Qatar. I think Ecuador didn't even have to get into second gear. Never mind third gear or first gear or whatever you want to call it. Great performance, obviously, for England earlier today. but there is definitely defensive frailties in the England team which concern me. Good performance, great attacking players, play going forward, and we definitely, as an England fan, I'm happy we've got all that abundance of attacking talent. But it's the same story all the time with England. They make you nervous at the back because they don't. They always look like there's a mistake in the team when it comes to defending, and we saw one today. To be fair, luckily it wasn't that big of a deal because it didn't cost us anything in the game. But yeah, I'm sure you, being a passionate Scotsman, I'm sure you, Aaron, are looking forward to seeing England get a defeat. But yeah, hope you're enjoying the tournament so far, mate. And thanks for dropping in. Much, much appreciated. But yeah, you could join me, guys, for that game. For that game, the next game for England, that we will be live streaming that England v the USA. Also going to try and catch the Brazil game, and also going to try and catch the game tomorrow for Poland v Mexico. But the one tomorrow all depends on what time I get finished work, which is exactly why I've not scheduled it yet. So fingers crossed, I can get home from work and hopefully be able to live stream that game as well. But if I can't, there's not much you can do about it. I'll have to, it's just one of them things. But I will certainly be doing my best tomorrow to get my work done and get home early so I can try and stream that game. But yeah, we'll be definitely here for the England US game, and I think Brazil play the day before, so I'm going to try and I think it's Brazil. I did look ahead. Obviously, a lot of games coming, but there's a game before the day before England play, and I'm sure it's the Brazil game. I was going to try and stream that as well if possible. So it just gives you a quick overview, guys, of the games coming up and what we're going to try and cover if my other work commitments allow. Um, So we're just coming up to the 70 minutes, guys. It's still 1-0 to the US. We just literally just have hit the 70-minute mark. So 20 minutes left for Wales to try and find at least an equaliser, if not turn the game around. We've got Pulis, Christian Pulis down holding holding the bottom of his calf on his right leg. So let's hope that's nothing too serious. Obviously, he's going to be an important player for the rest of the season for his club, I imagine. So I'm sure that they won't want to lose him. But yeah, Pulisic and Gareth Bale, a bit of a coming together. Ironic that it's them two players, isn't it? An American player that's playing in the UK and a UK player that's playing in America. So yeah, Aaron's saying, think it's been good so far, mate. I was surprised England smashed Iran like that. I thought Iran would give them a good game, and I thought the game yesterday would have been 0-0. To be honest, mate. Yeah, to be honest, I didn't expect a lot from Iran, mate. Um, Iran played exactly how I expected them to play in the first half. They give a good account of themselves. They made the game very physical, which is what you expect. Because, like I say, they're not a team that are full of talented players in respect of attacking players. So they was always going to use what they could to their own advantage. And the one thing that they did that I noticed that they tried to do in the first half was make the game physical. But once England got that first goal, then they pretty much crumbled, didn't they? They were still trying, and they were still obviously trying to, still being very physical and trying to make life difficult for England. But like I say, when that first goal went in, it kind of dealt with the Iran threat to a certain degree, and then after that, it was just an avalanche of goals. To be fair, and I think Iran can thank themselves lucky a little bit to have got the two goals that they did. If they'd have got one, fair enough. But Obviously, one was a penalty and one was played in open play, which was a great goal, to be honest. But yeah, I'd say, uh, considering the performance, I would have said that Iran would probably consider themselves lucky to get them 2 goals, which could help them if they manage to get points in the other games. It could help them, obviously, qualify in respect of goal difference. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But yeah, for me, mate, I wasn't too surprised with how Iran played. Like I said, they've not got the best players going forward attacking wise, but they was always going to bring it. They were always going to bring a physical aspect to the game, and that's exactly what they did. And luckily, for England anyway, from an England point of view anyway. Luckily, England had the answers to it, and once they got that first goal, it was game over, pretty much. So yeah, I think the next 2 games will be tougher for England, mate. I think that the next 2 games will be a lot tougher. I expect the US and Wales to match them a lot more. But there's still plenty to play for in this group, guys. Because let's see if Iran play like that against Wales, you would expect Wales to get the win. So if the US win this tonight, if they win this game tonight, and Wales were, for example, to win against Iran, then we could have 3 teams all on 3 points before America and England play. So we could have, you know, three teams basically all on 3 points. So that's going to be an interesting one to see. We'll have to see how it develops. But yeah, that's potentially going to make it a tight group. But like I say, we'll have to see because Iran might play a lot better in the next game. We'll have to see how it goes. They were very, to be honest, like I said, I don't know. A lot of things. I think a lot of people maybe a little bit overrated Iran. Because they're ranked 20th. I think it's 20th. They're ranked in the FIFA rankings, world rankings, which is fair enough, you know. But let's bear in mind, guys, that Iran, even though Iran might be ranked 20th in the world rankings, they're ranked 20th because they play teams like Qatar. They play teams like Afghanistan. These are not footballing nations. Do you know what I mean? So they might be the best of the bad bunch, so to speak. If they were playing in Europe, they'd be playing teams like the Netherlands and France and Spain, Italy. A lot tougher teams that like the English and Welsh and Scottish teams have to face for qualifying. When we look at, like I said, when we look at Iran, they're facing teams like Qatar and teams like this. Saudi Arabia. These are not footballing nations. I'm not saying they haven't got a football team, but they're not football. They're not what you would consider natural footballing nations, like a nation that is really, really passionate about playing football. And as we know, Europe is very passionate about playing football. So for me, I think the FIFA World Rankings can be a little bit misleading. But we'll see. We'll see whether Iran improve in the next game. Guys, we're just 76 minutes, still 1-0 to America. So obviously 15 minutes to go. America with a corner here. So we'll see what happens with this. Aaron, I will come to your comments in a minute, mate. I just want to just see what happens with this corner from America. Corner coming in. Oh, yeah, he came in right into towards the back player near the back post, and he wasn't under that much pressure to be fair, but he's just headed it out. Didn't actually do that much with it. So the pressure off, and now Wales can try and get the ball up the other end of the field and create some chances themselves, hopefully. And they are actually moving up the field. Great crossfield ball. Oh, on the edge of the box for Wales. Chipped in. Oh, some some last ditch efforts coming in there, and the in the box there with thingy, and the referee has blown the whistle again. What? This referee is. Oh, have you seen this? We got a referee squaring up to a player. We have a referee that looked like a referee squaring up to a player. I want to see that again. That looked to me like, if that is the case, then that referee should be banned from football, because if we saw a player doing that, they'd be criticised so heavily, it'd be unbelievable. And yet we can see a referee. I'm sure that's what I just saw, guys. A referee going head to head with a player. Change for Wales, Brendan Johnson coming on. So yeah, guys, sorry about that. That kind of got me a little bit irritated. I'd love to see that back, because that definitely looked like the referee was squaring up to a player there, and that is an absolute disgrace if that's the case. Aaron is saying, "Yeah, mate, brilliant result from England, though they looked a real threat up front for the World Cup. I watched it at school, and Judge Bellingham looks like a world-class midfielder." Yeah, mate. I didn't get to watch all the game myself. I watched bits of it because I was working, so I managed to catch some parts of it, but not all of it. But yeah, absolutely. Like I say, England attacking wise, mate, they look really exciting, really exciting, and and that's simply just saying that as a football fan, not as an England fan. They just do look really exciting. There's so much talent in that attacking lineup for England. But like I said earlier, the big concern with England is the defensive side of the team. We just look like we've got players that have got mistakes in them and nervous. Have we got a penalty, guys? Penalty for Wales. A chance for Wales to equalise here. Yeah, it is definitely a penalty. The US player gone straight through his legs. Um, so we've got a penalty, guys. Aaron, I'll come to your comments in a minute, mate. Just watching what's happening with this penalty. So yeah, I just don't know if it didn't realise that. Yeah, it's Arsenal's reserve keeper in it. This for the US. See how this goes, guys. Chance, this is a golden opportunity for Wales to get back in it. It wouldn't surprise me if this game finished 1-1. Wouldn't surprise me at all. And he's slammed it in. Gareth Bale gets the equaliser for Wales. Fantastic. A little bit of luck, a little bit an element of luck there, guys. Got to be honest. I mean, I'm buzzing for the Welsh. Absolutely buzzing. Want to see them qualify, preferably, and have a good tournament. So yeah, absolutely buzzing for the Welsh. But you got to be honest, guys. A little bit of luck involved with that coming about, because up until that point, they didn't look like they were going to score a goal. They were creating chances going forward, but not much actual accuracy when it came to actually getting the opportunities on target. Why is Gareth Bale making faces like a fish? You know, if you're watching it, guys, just look. He's making fish faces. What's that all about? But yeah, absolutely buzzing for Wales. But fantastic to see them progress into the next round. So yeah, come on, Wales. They turn it on its head now, and to be fair, I think the American team will feel a little bit hard done by because they've looked the stronger team for the majority of this game. But yeah, like I say, this is why we love the game, innit, guys? Because you can never ever predict what's happening. No matter how comfortable a team look, how well they're playing. If it's only 1-0, it can always be turned on its head. So yeah, let's see what Aaron's got to say. Aaron, to be honest, mate, I want the US to win. I want them to get past the group stage. Imagine what that will do for the whole nation. Could help with football getting more popular there. Would be amazing. Yeah, mate. To be honest, obviously, um, if the US were in a different group, then I'd agree with you. I'd be well up for the US getting through. But obviously, we've got two UK nations involved, and yeah, obviously, I'm English, so I want England to go through. Of course, obviously, I'd be, you know, but I'm a UK fan. I'm a UK fan. If Scotland were in it, if Wales were in it, Northern Ireland, I would want them all to qualify. I'm very much like that. I want to, you know, obviously we have the rivalries, of course we do. But for me, I want to see the nations that we live next door to do well. If the US were in another group, I would be, yeah, I'd agree with you. It'd be great to see them get into the knockout stages. And if they manage to do it, you know, fair enough. Good luck to them. But for me, I would be, like I say, I would be prioritising Wales and England to qualify in my preference. But yeah, if the US get through, yeah, like you say, mate, it'd be great because we're already seeing that football in, or should we say, soccer in the US is growing and becoming a lot more popular. So I think for me, I've said it earlier in the stream. For me, America is a sleeping giant. I think we're going to see them more compete more in these kind of tournaments in years to come as they develop the game in America. So yeah, um, so yeah, and obviously we know how fanatical the Americans are about world competitions. You know, they have competitions that are in America called world competitions, but there's only Americans take part. So you know, I'm trying to think what competition am I thinking of? I know there's a competition they call over there the World something. Oh, the World Series. That's it. The World Series. Is it the World Series? They call it World Series, but there's only American teams take part and Canadian teams, I think. But yeah, they call it the World Series. Work that one out. But yeah, thanks for that, Aaron. Great, like I say, mate. I do agree to some extent, but like as you know, mate, that's why I'm building Fanden UK. So you know we can create a real togetherness amongst UK fans, and obviously being Fanden UK, we're always going to support the UK nations first. But yeah, I do agree, mate. It would be great to see US do well in tournaments like this, so that the game continues to develop in America. Because let's be honest, it's only going to be beneficial to the UK as well if the if soccer in America develops, because it's likely to be clubs from the UK, from Wales, Scotland, and England benefiting from that because them players are more likely to want to come and play in the UK because the language being the same. If they go and play in Spain or Germany or France, they're going to have to learn the language. But they could potentially come and play in England, Scotland, and Wales and not have to learn a new language to do it. So if the game, as Aaron says, continues to develop and improve in the US, then it could be the UK nations that benefit from that with regards to club football. So yeah, great comment that, Aaron. Thank you, mate. Wales got Dundee United youngster Dylan Levitt on the bench. I'm hoping to see him shine tonight and in this World Cup. He currently linked to Millwall. He'll be looking to shine. Yeah, absolutely, mate. And to be honest, now he pointed that out, I hope he has a good World Cup because if Millwall are after him, obviously it's going to be hard for Dundee United to keep hold of him financially. Not because you guys wouldn't want to keep hold of him, but If the right money is offered, then obviously Dundee are in a position financially where they would have to consider any serious offers. So if he has a good World Cup, um, and Dundee are potentially going to lose him as a player, then it's good if he has a great World Cup, because that means that then Dundee United can ask for a better price. They can demand a better price, and let's hope they do. Because one thing that is frustrating me like crazy is keep seeing Scottish clubs letting their players go to English clubs too cheap. Obviously I'm English, but I want to see the money filter right across the UK, not just in England. I want to see it evenly filtered out. And the Scottish League is desperate for the money. Clubs in Scotland are desperate for any kind of extra revenue. So for me, Scottish clubs need to stop allowing themselves to be bullied by English clubs that are stronger financially, and start, playing a bit more hardball and saying, no, this is the player you want. We've got him. You want him. So if you want him, that's how much you got to play. The Scottish clubs need to start playing a bit more hardball, because they're not going to be asking any more. They're not going to be asking anywhere near the kind of money that the other European nations would ask for their players. So any English club that pays a price to a Scottish club is still going to get them cheaper than they would in the rest of Europe. So I think it's time for Scottish clubs to be a bit more stubborn with their asking prices for players that are basically linked with English clubs. Let me know your thoughts on that, Aaron. Do you think I'm just talking nonsense, or do you agree? Do you think there's some sense in what I'm saying? Let me know your thoughts, mate. But yeah, hopefully, like you say, he has a great tournament, and if Dundee are potentially going to lose him in January or in the summer, let's hope his performance in the World Cup will help Dundee get a better asking price for him. So yeah, thanks for that, Aaron. Appreciate that update, mate. Yeah, mate. England look really good going forward. I think Harry Maguire had a good game today. All the media are hyping him up. It's mad how they switch from hating him to loving. Well said, mate. Well said. Well, you know what the English media are like, mate. They're an absolute disgrace. They're an embarrassment. Let's be honest. So you're spot on, mate. The English media embarrass us around the world with their poor journalism skills. So yeah, absolutely spot on, mate. We know that the English media are a joke. Half the reason England can't win a World Cup is probably because of the hype that the media pile on, because they pile on the hype into the papers, and that just puts the pressure on the players. I'm not saying, obviously, we know it's through performances, but I'm just saying any country where their media is hyping them up to that excess, the players are going to feel the pressure of that. So I'm just saying it could be a contributing factor to why England keeps struggling in tournaments to get, to get to the final and actually win a tournament. Because our media are just, they like to live in, let's be honest, mate, they like to live in Neverland, don't they? They like to live with Peter Pan in Neverland. But you're absolutely spot on that. I couldn't have said it better, mate. 1 minute the media want to hate you, and then they want to love you. So yeah, well said, Aaron. I couldn't have said it better that myself, mate. Dylan, how's it going, mate? Welcome back. Hi, guys. No need to apologize. Keep telling you this, guys. Don't need to apologize for being a while. USA won, Wales won. Not long to go now. Late drama on the cards. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've already had late drama, because up until the penalty of what Wales got to get back in it, they didn't. I'm just being honest. They didn't really look like they were going to score. So yeah, obviously that's a little bit of drama, and we've got 9 minutes added on, guys. So we potentially could. There's still time to see if one of these teams can potentially grab the winner. So yeah, but thanks for that, Dylan. Appreciate you coming back and getting involved a bit more, mate. Always appreciate your support. So thanks for that, mate. Substitution for Wales here, guys. Wilson coming off, and Thomas coming on. So yeah. What did you say that guy was called? What I'm trying to think. Dylan Levitt. Levitt on the bench. Levitt. I'm sorry, I'm trying to look out for the player that you're on about, Aaron. Levitt he's called. I'll try and I'll bear that in mind, and hopefully I'll notice him playing for Wales. I've not seen that he's come on anyway. But yeah, I'll have to keep an eye out for that one, Aaron. Um, Aaron Hart saying, absolutely agree, mate. Dundee United are bad for it as well. We let our best players way too cheap now, and then we wonder why we struggle. It would be interesting to see that Dylan Levitt in the Championship. Absolutely, mate. No, absolutely. You spot definitely. Like I say, spot on. I don't understand why Dundee do that, or Dundee United do that. Any of the clubs in Scotland do that. You know that they know that the English clubs have got the money, so they need to be a bit more stubborn, a bit more ballsy, if you like. Excuse my language, but they need to show that they've got it about them to, not allow these. I mean, come on, look at the bid that Liverpool got the youngster from Aberdeen in the summer. An absolute disgrace. Aberdeen were asking 10 million for him, and Liverpool bid 4 million when they were only asked 10. And that 10 million is nothing to a club like Liverpool. But what did they do? They go in with a low bid of 4 million, that gets rejected. So they go in with another low bid of 6.5 million, and that gets him. Aberdeen should have dug their heels in and said, no, we want 10. 10's a fair price. It's a bargain to a club like you. Pay it, or there's the door. and I want to see more Scottish clubs start being stubborn like that. And hopefully, the fact that more European places are available for Scottish clubs now, hopefully that has a positive impact on the finances within Scottish clubs, and helps Scottish clubs get a bit more money coming in to maybe be a bit more stubborn when it comes to dealing with the English clubs. Because, yeah, I'm English, but let's be honest, come on, guys, the amount of money that's at the top level of English football is absolutely astronomical. So why can't these rich clubs be a bit more considerate when they go to Scotland, or they go into English League One or English League Two, and stop disrespecting these clubs with such low bids on talented players? Happened to my club a few years ago. Arsenal, when Bolton were in trouble, came in with a player for £2 million. They got him for £2 million, and he still plays for England. I forgot his name now, but he still plays for Arsenal as a defender. And they got him for £2 million, and yet he's been playing for them since they got him. So does that not tell you that that player was worth way more than £2 million? Of course he was, because he's managed to keep himself in the Arsenal team. But yet Arsenal bid Bolton right in the knackers, because Bolton were at the time in a meltdown of financial meltdown, and Arsenal knew that any kind of offer Bolton would be forced to accept because they needed the money. An absolute disgrace. This is how rich clubs in England are taking full advantage of clubs in the UK, right across the board, Wales, England, and Scotland, that are weaker financially, and it's a disgrace, an absolute disgrace. So yeah, let's hope that if you guys do end up having to sell him, Aaron, let's hope that Dundee show the respect to themselves that they should, and tell any English club, you want him, no problem, but that's the asking price. Pay it, or sod off back over the border. That's what, if I was the chairman, mate, that's what I'd be saying. Dylan is saying Dylan Levitt would be great in the Championship in my eyes. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Like I say, I'm gonna keep an eye, and hopefully I'll notice him playing for the Welsh team during the tournament at some point. But yeah, absolutely, good shout there, Dylan. Thanks for that, mate. Aaron Hart is saying, yeah, mate, it's true. They were hating Maguire a couple of weeks ago. Now he's being praised on the next as the next Maldini. English media is probably one of the worst. They overhype so much, then hate after it. Absolutely, mate. Mate, like I've just said, the English media are an embarrassment. Let's be honest, they're an absolute embarrassment. Go and look at the press conference with the FIFA. I mean, he embarrassed himself the other day, the FIFA president. He made himself look like a right plonker and embarrassed himself and showed complete, absolute brain deadness when he's coming out sending messages. Apparently, this is what happened. He sent memos or a letter to every nation involved in the World Cup, telling them to avoid speaking about politics. And then he comes out and does a big speech the day before the tournament kicks off. And what's he talking about? Politics. So what a hypocrite. He's coming out and sending letters to every nation involved in the tournament, tell them to avoid talking about politics and not to get involved in stuff that's controversial involving politics. And then he comes out with some hour-long speech about politics. These are the people that are running football for us, guys. How stupid they are. Do you know what I mean? But if you actually watch that interview, guys, you will yet again see a perfect example of the English media embarrassing us with their ridiculously stupid questions. And then when it gets fired back on them, they've got no response to it. Why? Because they go for the easy stuff. They're not. The journalists in the UK are an absolute disgrace. Most journalists in the UK, are yes men. They're yes men. They don't do their job properly. They do what their editor or the people that approve the newspaper. They do what they tell them to do. Their actual journalistic skills are really poor. Really poor. A journalist should be able to go out and dig a story out of something or nothing. Most of the UK journalists don't. They just go for the easy news all the time and then create their own twist to suit the headline that they want to put on the paper. So yeah, absolutely, we could bang on about the English media all day long. All the UK media is pretty bad, but unfortunately, it's a lot of the big media companies that are down in London that really do embarrass us and show us up. But thanks for that, Aaron. Dylan is saying PFC _DY4. I keep reading your account out, mate, to try and get it right. But obviously, to me, I just know you as Dylan. Dylan is saying both sides, I think, will have a good feel about them if they take a point from this. Yep, and there goes the full-time whistle, guys. There goes the full-time whistle. So it's finished. US won, Wales won. Got to be honest, guys. I think the Welsh got off as buzzing as I am to see them get a point out of it. I think the Welsh got away with it a little bit there, guys, because the US team definitely looked the better team in the first half, and they did look the most dominant throughout. Majority of it. Wales came into it a bit more in the second half. Did get more possession. Did get more opportunities going forward, but was still looking like they weren't going to score. Not much opportunity actually directly on goal, even though they were creating opportunities in the box. But like I say, not much on goal. So they did look like they were going to struggle to get anything out of this. But luckily, they got a penalty, and that has snatched them a point from what arguably some people would argue should have been a defeat. Because like I say, we've seen Wales play. I've seen Wales play better than this, guys. They just, I don't know, maybe a little bit of nerves with all the hype. Because like I say, when you've not played in a tournament for so long, I think the nerves kick in. I think we saw that in the Euros with Scotland. A little bit of the fact that the Scottish didn't play in the tournament for so long in the international tournament. The press, obviously, as we've just been discussing, hype it all up to the point where players get nervous. And we've got to be honest, they're only human beings, guys. We know they're professional footballers and they're very talented, but at the same time, they're still human beings. So they can still have the same, suffer from the same things that we do, nerves and in confidence, things like this. So yeah, I think, like I say, maybe the Welsh getting a little bit lucky, but like I say, it's great to see them get a point out of it, guys, because we want to make sure that preferably make sure that the Welsh have got some chance of qualifying for the next stage. But yeah, that game definitely chucks it all in the balance now, doesn't it? England obviously group leaders, Wales the US on joint level points, 1 point apiece, and Iran sitting bottom. So it definitely makes the next round of games very interesting because uh, potentially, um, we could have the group finishing with all teams potentially able to qualify in the last game. But we'll have to see how it pans out. Like I said, we don't want to read in too much into the first two games. But yeah, I'm not a surprise, to be honest, that it's finished 1-1. My biggest surprise was the lack of belief in themselves from Wales. Maybe, uh, maybe them. Maybe that might do them good now because the manager will be able to get them to have a bit of a reality check, and that might help them in the long run for the rest of the competition. But thanks for that, Dylan. Yeah, thanks for that, Dylan. Appreciated, mate. Aaron is saying, yeah, mate, it's good. It's good as well to see the Scottish Premiership getting more recognition and able to get Europe easier, even if all Scottish clubs have a terrible year in Europe. It's just a learning curve. Well, yeah, absolutely, Aaron. I think it is. Apart from, I've got to say this. I've got to say this. Apart from, with the exception of Celtic, because Celtic have had enough opportunities to learn in Europe. They play every year in some form or another of European competitions, and every year they are disappointing for Scotland. You know, we obviously we could put Rangers in the same category, but the difference is Rangers are only just they've only had what 3 years, 4 years tops back in Europe, so they're still getting a feel for it back into Europe. Celtic have been playing consistently in Europe now for over 10 years, and yet they still struggle to qualify for the knockout stages, no matter which competition it is Champions League, Europa League, Europa Conference League. They still struggle to get to the knockout stages. And I'm not being funny, but a club the size of Celtic that dominates Scottish football the way they do should be absolutely ashamed of themselves that they don't give a better account of themselves in Europe, in my opinion. Other fans might disagree. If they'd only had a couple of seasons, I'd give them a break, but they haven't. They've been playing consistently in Europe now for in excess of 10 years. They should be giving a better account of themselves. But yeah, with regards to what you're saying, Aaron, with regards to the rest of the Scottish Premiership clubs, I totally agree. It's very much a learning curve, very much about getting that experience and getting better and getting some confidence and in themselves that they can play in Europe and they can start to learn to compete in Europe. But like I said, the one exception for me, mate, has got to be Celtic. It's got to be. You watch Scottish football all the time, mate. Hopefully, you understand my point of view. I'm not just singling Celtic out for no reason. I'm simply singling them out because of the amount of experience that they got of playing in Europe regular, and yet they still fail to make any kind of impact on Europe. And then you hear Celtic fans, you know, giving it large on social media about how great they are. Well, it's all right being great, dominating a league where all the other clubs are struggling for finance, but then when they come up against teams that can match them, they don't. They do very little. So you know, the Celtic fans sometimes a little bit deluded that believe in their own hype, but that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, overall, I agree with you with that, Aaron. Thank you, mate. Who is it? England are playing next, mate. Next game, USA. Next game is against America, and then they play Wales in the final group game. Um, so yeah, big game for England against the US because we've just seen how well the US can play. So I'm sure they're going to want to try and give England a real test in the next game. So we'll have to see how that one's go. It's going to be an interesting one, mate. And the Iran Wales game is also going to be interesting because potentially, if Wales can win against Iran, then they could almost be qualified because that will give them 4 points. So that would mean they would almost be qualified. So we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, it's the US in the next game for England, mate. Um, Aaron Hart, good point from both teams. USA probably should have got all 3 points. Very unlucky. Yeah, I would say I would agree, mate. Overall, the US edged the game. They look the better team out of the two. But you know, as we know in football, mate, and I'm sure you know all about this, being a massive Man United fan and a Dundee United fan, that 1-0 is never ever a safe scoreline. You have to go out and kill that team off. I think I've seen that debate many a time over the last few years while the Glazers have owned Man United and bringing in various managers. Lots of fans debating that about getting that second goal and trying to kill the team off. So yeah, I'm sure I don't have to remind you about that, mate. I'm sure you're very well much aware of that. Great stream again, guys. Mate, enjoyed it. Yeah, thanks, mate. Hopefully, like I said, I'll be doing plenty more streams through the World Cup. And unfortunately, like I say, it was just a bit feeling the way into the World Cup. This is the first game for tonight for the World Cup. So yeah, but yeah, like I say, we'll be doing plenty more. Hopefully, I'm going to try and get home tomorrow and do that 4 o'clock kickoff if I can. But it depends on what time I get finished work. And then, like I say, we'll definitely be doing the England game on Friday. I think that is. I think that's on Friday. And is it Friday or Saturday? I'm not sure. Friday or Saturday. And then Brazil, I think, play the day before. I think it's the Brazil game I looked at. And I'm going to try and cover that game as well. So, yeah. So yeah, like I say, positive result here, guys, from Wales. Thank you very much for all your comments in the chat, Aaron. Appreciate you dropping in, mate. Dylan, massively appreciate you coming get involved as well, mate. And all other fans that have dropped in today, appreciate it. Been a bit quieter in the chat, but like I say, we're gonna have that as we keep building the channel. There'll be quiet streams, busy streams. Just have to take the good with the bad and keep pushing forward. But yeah, massive thanks to you guys for your fantastic support and coming getting involved. Really, really appreciated. But yeah, that's about it from me. Great point for Wales. Obviously, they've got themselves off the mark, getting something out of their first game. So I'm sure the Welsh fans will be absolutely buzzing, and rightly so. And like I say, let's hope that gives them the momentum to go on and qualify for the next round of the competition. But that's it from me, guys. Disappointing overall for Wales. I've got to be honest. They didn't look at the best today, but they did what was needed and got something out of the game. So hopefully, much more improved performance in the next game against Iran. And hopefully, you guys will join me in future streams as well. Just look out on the channel for streams up and coming. But that's it from me for now, guys. Take care. All the best. Look after yourselves out there. And keep tuned, keep checking for more updates on more streams throughout the World Cup. But that's it for me for now, guys. Take care. All the best. Bye for now.